Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy Nitrostorm here. Welcome back to RevivedWitch. So there is a new banner, Dreamland, and as you can see, pretty adorable, right? Is basically a mini Akasha, and we're gonna go ahead and take a look at her right now. So as you can see, this is the banner. It's a pretty new approach. I didn't imagine that they would make a mini version of a character, so we could probably expect maybe a mini version of another character sooner or later. But they started it off with Little Akasha, who is a Saltstone destroyer. So without further ado, let's take a look at her kit. So keep in mind, like per usual with these banner reviews, their skills are maxed out at level 5, the active skills, and their passive skill is maxed out at level 2. So first things first, her first skill is called Sword Wielder. It costs 3 order to use, and what it does is she gains a brief immunity to all damage and debuffs, and then swings the sword to deal physical damage equal to 300% of her own attack to the enemy's front row. I'm assuming just the frontline enemy, acquiring 1 stack of focus in the process. And focus is increase Glory Fell's damage by 25%, stacks up to 4 times, and I'm assuming Glory Fell is the second skill. Yep. So second skill is called Glory Fell. It costs 4 chaos to use, and what it does, she gains a 1-second immunity to all damage and debuffs, and then ignores the target's defense. Oh wow, okay. And deals physical damage equal to 250% of her own attack to the enemy's front row, consuming all the effect of focus in the process. Okay. Last but not least, her passive is called Tender Sword, and at level 2, during combat, every 2 uses of a skill, increase next skill damage by 75%. Okay, very interesting. Okay. First things first, the first thing that caught my eye is this sentence right here, this part of the second skill. Ignores the target's defense. That's it. Nothing else, so I'm assuming she completely ignores defense. I think that is huge, in my opinion. Like, just completely ignoring defense. Not to mention she also gains immunity to damage and debuff for a second. So yeah, let's go over her kit real quick and go deeper into the analysis. So her first skill is pretty decent. She also gains brief immunity to damage as she activates the skill, so it's pretty good when it comes to negating damage and debuffs. And at the same time, it will buff the skill of Glory Fell. Now, there's just one problem that I have with this. Is in order to use Glory Fell's, in order to use this skill, the second skill, at maximum stacks, so using this 4 times to get max stacks, and then using this, in order to utilize the passive as well, you would need to activate Sword Wielder, let's see, 1, 2, so if you do it 2 times, Glory Fell is 50%, and then the next one would be 75%, right? So use 75%, but we're at 3 stacks. The next one would be 1 use, which is 4 stacks. So we need to use Sword Wielder 5 times before we use Glory Fell for the 6th attack. So it's at maximum stacks as well as dealing the big damage. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because I am still unsure if it means it is 2 uses of skill for the whole team, or if it's 2 uses of her own skills personally. In my opinion, I think it might be 2 uses of her own skill, because if it's every 2 uses of everyone else's skills, then she could be a good support in that sense, but it would be hard to manage when to count her skills if the other people in your team affect this passive. So I think it's only to herself, and with that, you would need to use Sword Wielder 5 times in order to use Glory Fell at maximum potential. But to make it easy for you, just do Sword Wielder twice and then Glory Fell once, and you'll gain 50% boost from the focus, as well as the 75% increase from the passive, and it's less hassle as well. So I'm pretty impressed with the ignore defense. I'm not sure how this will affect the meta and stuff, but it does have very good potential because you can just stack attack and damage buffs on her without worrying about the enemy's defense. So let's take a look at the unique equipment and see how this will affect her kit further. So it's called Ceremonial Sword, and we need to keep in mind that when we take a look at these unique equipment, they are at level 1 and the passive improves as you level them up. So let me just quickly check something. So this is 5.5%, and then okay. Alright, sorry for pausing the video there. There's a quick jump because I just checked how much the passive goes up by. So at level 1, the passive is 5.5, but then it became 8% at level 60. So we can assume that the passive improves by 50%, right? Assume around, give or take 50%. So now let's take a look at the passive. After combat starts, attack increases by 1.65% every 5 seconds, stacks up to 15 times. So regardless of the level of this unique equipment, it'll take you 150 seconds. No, sorry, that was so wrong. It will take you 75 seconds until the attack buff is completely maxed. So again, this is like a long battle kind of thing, but I think it's still good, especially with the new Evil Return Rebirth. The clear times are not actually super quick at Nightmare 10. So this can actually be helpful in that sense. And so since we did the 50% increase here, so we can safely assume that at level 60, the attack percent increase every 5 seconds would go up from 1.65 to around 2.25% every 5 seconds, stacking up to 15 times, giving us a total of let's see, 60. Well, if assuming level 60, probably around like 30%, something like that, 25%. So maybe like 25% attack increase, which is pretty decent. Normally, this wouldn't be a good passive, but because her big attack ignores defense completely, this actually benefits her a lot because she doesn't need to worry about the enemy's defense. And if you just focus on increased damage taken and increased damage dealt, you'll be probably having a potential to maybe deal more damage than maybe Isabel, if the enemy's physical defense is off the roof, off the charts. But yeah, so overall, I think she is a pretty decent character. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go for her. You know, the only gripe that I have is that her skills are very costly. 3 cost for this, and you need to use it twice in order for you to get the 75% damage boost to enhance the Glory Fell to big damage. And so auto wise, you're not going to be able to use her effectively on auto. She is a manual only character in my opinion. But in any case, hopefully you guys enjoyed that review. Hopefully it gives you guys a lot of information regarding her and helps you decide whether or not you should pull for her or if you made a good investment. But regardless, if you liked the character, that character is always going to be a good investment as long as you're playing the game for fun. Now, to end off the video, let's do the 50% off multi and let's see what we get. So we're nowhere near pity, so if we get lucky, we get lucky. If we don't, we don't. Okay, so we got a gold, so it's a SSR. Okay, we got a duplicate of the Theos, Oh, don't forget to share to get 50 back. Now, I'm not sure if it actually shares somewhere, but you know, I'll take the 50 souls regardless. But yeah, in any case, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. It might have been a little bit long, but it was mainly because of the analysis of her pretty cool mechanic. Completely ignores defense, probably because the enemy were probably too stunned by how adorable she is or something like that. But in any case, if you guys got any more questions regarding Little Akasha or anything of the sort regarding RevivedWitch, do let me know down in the comments down below. I'll be sure to respond. It's been your boy Nitrostorm. I'll see you guys in the next stream or video. Peace.